everyone. So I made up my mind, sorta, a week or two ago that I'm going to do some cards for every holiday on my Joy to start to send to friends and family. I have a very small family, so it's not, I don't have to do like 20 cards. So I'm going to do a quick Valentine card using the Joy. And so I thought I would share with you what I'm going to do. So you need to have the mat that does the insert cards. Set that there. We need some insert cards, and be sure to check the size there, because when you choose a card, you also have to choose the size, because I found that I had a box, I didn't realize, pardon my arm, of taller ones. And so these are 4.5 by 6 1/4, and these are 4 1/4 by 5.5. So just make sure, and I believe there's 3 sizes. So just be sure before you pick your card, pick the size it's going to be. So I'm going to do this size, the 4 1/4 by 5.5. I'm also going to use I'm going to do some foiling. So I've got the Joy foil transfer kit, and it comes with the tool for foiling. It comes with some foils, and it also comes with the tape to hold the foil down. I honestly must have gotten it directly from Cricut, because there's no price on it. I don't recall how much it was, but I always wait until Cricut's having a sale and get some items at that time. And I notice also for some of you that Walmart is carrying Cricut supplies, and their pricing on some of the Joy and the cup, what is it called, the mug press and that, and they seem to be a pretty reasonable price compared to some of the other stores, so you might want to check that out as well. So I got my foil tool, and I had an extra package of foil, and I put it back in so you can't see the foil, and so it's green, purple, and blue. I don't have any red, and so I'm going to foil with some purple. And I'm going to do it on a gray card with some silver background. Hope that's not too glary for you. And some purple foiling. So let's see how that goes. So get your supplies all ready. Pause the video, get your supplies ready. And next we'll be going over to the Cricut Design Space. Okay, so now we're in Cricut Design Space. And I have the Maker, which I got quite some time ago, and the Joy. So I'm going to come up to this top right, and I'm going to make sure I pick the machine I'm working on. And that's especially good in this case because the card mats and the insert cards are for the Joy. So it just cuts out some of the other things. And I'm going to just type in the search. I'm going to type in Valentine. And let me see if we can go down, because I thought I picked cards first when I was trying this out. So let me scroll back up, and let's go. Let's see. We can do view all. And let's see, project type. Let's look on the left-hand side. And we want to use the one that says cards. Now, some of these are cards that aren't the insert cards. So let's see if we can. I'm trying to see if they. Let's come back up to top where the Valentine is. And let's put insert cards. Now, these insert cards, this is, and I realize now I'm in images. This is good to see, and you find it through the images, not the projects, because these are the corners of the cards. Can you see I'm right here? And then you can put the corners where the insert goes in. So then you can put your own stuff, whatever, designs or words or whatever you want on these cards. So I don't want this part. So I'm going to go back to the top right and I'm going to do new project. Hopefully. It's being a little extra slow today. So let me see if I can get to home. Okay, now finally went to the new project. So I'm in my canvas and I'm going to come over to the projects on the left-hand side. This is what I was looking for. So to get this menu or screen, you want to do a new project, and then from in the canvas, go over to the left and get projects. And now I'm right in the cards to start with. And mine was, let me double check, 4.2 by 5.5. So right here, my cursor is right here in the center top. I'm going to click on that. And that just gives me the cards in the size I want, because there's nothing worse than, and I assume all their cards are all 3 sizes, but there would be nothing more upsetting or irritating if you found a card you wanted and it wasn't in the size you wanted. So to eliminate that, I go for the card size first. Then I can go up into the search. Oh, it's probably help if I could spell Valentine. It's called Fingers on the Wrong Keys. And I'm going to pick, let's see what I can find. I'm going to pick this kind of pink and purple one, but it says Foil Hearts card. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now, you notice it went right to make it. These cards are not editable. So that's why in the beginning, even though it was a mistake to go there, that showed you, it reminded me to show you where you can get the corners for the cards, and there's different shaped corners, and these corners here, and then you can put in your own cut design or vinyl design or paper, whatever you want to do, foil words. So you find that under images, not under projects. Because I did that one day. And of course, when you come in here, there's an arrow and it's going to show you what it's actually doing. So this hearts and things going around that's kind of pink, that will be the foil. The purple on the 4 corners, that's the cutouts to put the background or the insert in. And this, where the purple is where the insert section will show through in the card. And then if you go down on this, again, you can select the size. So let's just double check that we get the size we want. And it gives you a description, but it also gives you a list of materials that you're going to need. So you got your insert cards and your foil transfer sheet. Now it tells you what color they use, but you can use whatever color you want. You're using the Joy card mat, the foil transfer to, and the vinyl tape is the tape that they give you in with the foil kit to hold the foil down, because the foil is very thin and it needs to be held down securely. And then it also gives you instructions to follow if you want to. And there's a little place up in this top right that says print. So if you want to print it out so you have it in your hand, you can do that as well. And it's going to print this whole page, or pages. I can't remember if it's more than one page. So we're just going to hit make it. And I have my Joy plugged in because it's only on if it's plugged in. I'm double checking on the left-hand side that I have the 4.25 by 5.5 card. I'm on the card mat. Shows you the picture. I'm going to hit continue. And this is, it's going to be looking for your Joy. And I'm using the insert card stock, so that's right here. If you don't have that on your favorites, come over to the right where it says browse all materials, and you can just type in insert, I think would be enough. And here's your cardstock, the insert cardstock. And over here, do you see how I have a gold star? So if I hadn't picked it yet, it's just an outline. When I pick it and it turns gold, that puts it onto my favorites. I'm going to call it my favorites bar or favorites menu, so that I have it. The ones I use all the time. And you would select it. So I'm going to go back to, where'd it go? It moved on me. Insert card. And now it's telling me I need a pink pen. So I didn't know I was using a pen. Let's see what's going to go with my purple. Maybe I'll use, I don't have a lot of pens, so I'm going to use my, let's see. I'll use a gold one. You hear me rummaging around getting that ready. And then it tells me right underneath, well, let me see. I've got pen, I swore it said foil. Coming up is fine point blade. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll find out. I thought it said foil on it. Maybe I just assumed it was foiling. So, well, let's see what we get. So, it's not going to say go until it doesn't really know what pen I have in, but it knows I haven't loaded the mat yet. So this little go button nothing works over here because I don't have the machine ready yet. So that's the nice part of that. But on the Joy, it has no buttons at all, so everything is going to work from here. So let's switch over to our to where the Joy is and get everything ready. Okay, so I rummaged through my pens and I found I had kind of a purpley one, so I think I'll use that because I'm going to have this silver background, so I didn't really want to use that gold. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife out. Make sure you set it somewhere. I made myself a little pouch, and if you want to make something like that, sew something like that, it'll be on my YouTube channel I think it'll be under the Saturday sew-along. So I got my pen, and I'm going to make sure I scribble on a piece of paper just to make sure the ink's ready. I'm going to put my top there so I don't lose that. This just drops in and closes. It has a little ridge, see right there? So it knows how far for it to be in. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, I'm sorry about that light. Let me put that up just for a minute so it's not glaring on you. And I've got my mat. And your mat has, well, first of all, it has a cover. We want to take that off. And then, see how this lifts up? So your mat is really this clear part that it cuts on. This is made to protect the inside of your card. So we open up the card, put it in, and you're going to line it up with the lines that match the size of the card, and then close it. And that mat is sticky, and then it's all set to go. So I'm going to just put it in a little ways. And the Joy always pulls things the whole way and back because it checks to see if it, in the case of if you were using a roll of what is it, the smart vinyl, it checks to make sure you have enough. So now my go button on my software is green and I can get to it. So so now we'll be surprised, won't we, that maybe it's going to pen and foil. So I'm going to let this run the regular time, just for those. I know some people like to see, how it goes along. So if you want to skip ahead, that's okay. The color's showing up pretty good. I think you can see that. It is fun to watch it draw so neatly that most of us, myself especially, can't do. So all the heart lines meet and everything's nice and smooth. And again, it doesn't matter what color pen it calls for, you put the color in that you want to use. So you might do this same card for several people and just use different colors. And, I have to say, doing a card this way, it really is pretty quick and simple. Because I don't really have to sit and watch this. I can't work on the software, but now I could be getting my next card out or, getting some paper ready. I will say while we're waiting, so it tells you on the package, I'm trying not to get too much in the way, the size of the insert. So if you want to cut your own inserts, so these are the inserts are here. Oh, sorry. Inserts are right here. So it tells you for this size card, you can cut your own inserts, but you can also cut your own cards, and you just fold it. Or if you wanted to do this design, but on a cardstock that's going to be on top of something else, just use your regular mat with some cardstock. So you got lots of choices there. So now it's telling me to, and let me switch back over just so you can see. So now it's saying set up for next step, fine point blade. So, and you notice the light is green because the Joy doesn't have the technology to know what tool you have in or if you've got the right thing in. So I always say make sure you check what tool needs to go in or pen, and do that before you do anything else. And then we can just hit go. And let's go back over. So right now it's cutting the 4 corners and cutting in the hearts. And again, I'm doing this at regular speed so you can see, in case you don't own a Joy, you can see exactly how it goes. And it's not as fast as the bigger machines, but, that's to be expected since it's a huge difference in price. But I love this little machine. It's lots of fun. I keep it right on my shelf so it's easy to get to. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my screen, and it's telling me it's complete. So there wasn't any foil in that. So I don't know where I went wrong on that one. So we're going to unload, because you don't just pull your mat out of your, let me switch back over. Don't just try to pull this mat out, because first of all, it's in there. So don't be trying to yank it out. If this light up here is blinking, that generally means you need to do something on the software, on your computer screen, your iPad screen, phone screen, whichever one you're on. So I'm going to click that unload that I showed you. And do that so it's not glaring on you. I'm going to take my little spatula and I'm going to lift that up. Now see, this is still blinking because I have a button that says finish on the software. So when I click finish, it's no longer blinking. And it brought me back to the card itself, so I'll have to read again. Maybe I was just reading what I thought was there. So I just take that out gently, and I can just poke these pieces out. I get everybody out. And you can save these. Let me turn it there. So you can save these hearts, put them in a little jar or a little box or something, a little baggie, because you could use them. So I'm going to just stick them in this my little basket here. I'll do the rest afterwards. So the hearts in the middle are all set. And this is going to insert. Let's see if I can do it. So this is a double insert. So it's going to go out to the front, and then I'm just taking my finger and pushing it back in again. So I'm going to go out, and then in again. So I'm going in the first one, and I'm just taking my finger from the other side, and it's not quite this awkward. I'm just trying to be on the camera as best I can. And I just use my finger to push that corner back in that little next slot. Oh, I got my fingerprints on. So there we have it. So quick and easy card. You can write a little note inside. If you have stamps, you can stamp inside. I will show on another video how to write inside the card before you do this part. But I thought, here's a nice quick card. They have, I swear, they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them for all occasions that you quickly want to send a little card to cheer someone up or say hello or whatever. You should be able to find something there. So I hope you give it a whirl. I have to make sure I get the rest of them done, as I promised myself I would. So, hope you try it out. See you next time. Bye. Okay, so I said bye before I should have. I wanted you to see, here's the foil card that we picked, and it does say over here, foil transfer sheet, Ruby, and it doesn't say anything about a pen. So, I don't know if maybe I'll give it a try, and I'll add on to this video. I'll give it a try using the foil instead of the pen and see what happens. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm doing the same card, but where it calls for the pen, I'm going to go ahead and put the foil down and put the foil tool in and see what happens. So this is the same as we did before. It's telling me to load the pen, so I'm going to go ahead and load the foil tool and show you how to put the foil on. So let me just get prepped for it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got another card out, stuck it on the same as we did before. I got my foil, and I trimmed a little bit off, and I'm going to save that. I trimmed a little bit off because it was down too low. And I'm going to just set it right over the center. Here's the little strips that they give you to hold the foil down. So I'm going to first put it on the top. So it's part on the foil and part on the mat. And then I want to make sure I pull this down so I don't have a bubble in it. So let me see if I can get up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the sticky to the foil first, and then see how I can pull down a little bit to get it as taut as possible. It's pretty thin, so you don't want to, yank it too much. And then another strip. And again, it almost comes up, the foil almost comes up to meet the tape. And I just pulled it just a tad. I don't know how exact you have to be. I've foiled just a couple times. I haven't had any issues yet to tell you, and I always have. And again, I'm on the foil and then just pulling it down. So I can see a couple little ripples there, but nothing, no big bubbles or anything. Almost forgot. I gotta take my knife out. Remember I said you should do that first, and I didn't. Put my foil in, my foil tool in, and hopefully, even though it's on pen, everything will work out, but we'll find out right now. So I'm just going to go back to my software and hit go. Okay, I'm going to double check. Foil is in. That's the blue one. Foil is on. Tape down. Should be good to go. Let me see if I can turn this so you don't get as much glare. There. So I can see I'm up in my taped area, so let's hope it's all by pressure. Let's see if that goes through, because I taped up at the very, very edge. So that tells me next time I need to have a little more foil above to take into account for the tape. So this is how we, learn what not to do the next time. So I probably could have left that little piece I cut off on just so that my tape isn't in the way of what's being foiled. It's hard to see if it's working or not. My tape on this side keeps coming undone. Just a little bit. And you can see that the tool is kind of pushing that foil around because it's pressure. So it's dragging across it just the same as if you were writing with a pen or a pencil. And the foil is pretty thin. And I do save my pieces because this might have a whole section like right in the middle. And I'm saving them in hopes that if I do some small thing that's foil, I can use the little pieces up. So it looks like it's almost finished. I can see some hearts. Okay, so here's the issue, is it wants me to put the knife blade in now, and I can't get the foil off. So let's see. What shall I do? I have to think for a second here. So if it was foil, because it knows it's foil, it would come out far enough for you to get the foil off. And I might be able to reach it. So let's see if okay, I can reach the tape in the back. Let me untape this, because I don't want to pull the mat at all. And I'm going to save this strip to use again, because they don't give you, big bunches of them. So I got that tape off. Let's see if I can reach this. Let's see if I can just reach it enough to... And I'm sorry if my hands are in the way. The only thing I can't get to is the other side of this tape, the side tapes. Okay, got one side tape off. Hope it didn't move the card mat. I don't think it did. Now let's try this. So there, I got it out. Looks like it foiled. Oh, maybe you can see better on this side. Can you see? Trying to turn it. So there you go. So it looks like it foiled. So I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to stick it right there. Monkey around with that later. Okay. Cross our fingers. And hope for the best. On the software screen where it has the button to hit, oh, you know what? I'm going to stop this if I can, because I made the mistake. I put my mat in upside down. It's supposed to be this way. And because I had that sticky over it, the tape, I didn't see it. So it feeds in wrong side too. So that's why it was too far up here, because I put it in, well, I didn't know you could do that. I put it in this way, and it should have been with the obvious arrow that I put my tape over that way. But I'm not going to do it again because, and of course now I've cut into my mat more than I really would have liked to, but that's okay. But you can see it didn't do a very good job foiling. It's okay, but some places, can you see, it's barely even there. So usually my experiments don't turn out too bad. This one might have been better if I put the card in right side up. But what happened is once I put the card in, and then I taped this down, I taped right over that arrow and just didn't pay the least bit of attention to what I should have been paying attention to. So hopefully my mistake will help you out. But now you know that if it calls for a pen, even though it said foil in the beginning, you want to use a pen, because the foil option would be more pressure than the pen would be. So this would have come out darker had it been the foil. So we all learned something extra today. And I still hope you try. What did I do with my card now? Oh, here we go. I still hope you try and do a card, because let's face it, that looks pretty nice, doesn't it? And again, put in any insert that you want or make your own. So thanks for joining in, and thanks for staying for watching our little experiment. See you next time. Bye.